building.
And we are live at Jana's Market. I am Royal Ross with G&H Properties, but we're doing the Coaches Show today, the Faribault Coaches Show. I've got my sidekick in here, Tom Spooner. Once
morning,
again,
Royal.
Yeah, good morning, Tom. Thank you. Once again, Gordy is not able to join us today, so you got the B, C, and D team again. However low you want to rank us, that's me and Tom, because we are not the A team. We are not Gordy Cosfeld, because he is a legend in the local broadcasting arena, and we appreciate everything he does. So, but for today, you're stuck with me and Tom. So, Tom, how you doing today?
Good, very good. Another nice, bright, sunny Saturday morning.
With temps on the upswing.
Absolutely.
Well, yesterday was a little cold. I think we were probably spoiled, but it was cold yesterday.
We don't have a lot to complain about this winter.
No, it's been a great winter. It has been a wonderful winter. So, down at Jana's Marketplace today, I had lunch down here yesterday. It was awesome, as always.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what are your favorite things down here?
I tell you what, last week we got done with the show and I stepped out and I had some French toast. Oh my God, was that good? Just wonderful French toast.
I've had a French toast down here too. It was very good. Yesterday I had the fish sandwich. I'm not Catholic. It wasn't for Lent or anything. It was just sounded good on the menu, so I had the fish sandwich, and it was one of their specials
Always
of the
good.
day. But yeah, come on down, folks. Like I always say, you can get a cheeseburger for breakfast, or you can get eggs and bacon for lunch. But come on down, have a hot meal here, and then get a delicious meal to take with you, already prepackaged, freshly made in Jana's Marketplace. Then they package them, and they're not frozen. They're just in a cooler, and then you can heat it up for lunch someday this week, or maybe at the office or whatever. It's very convenient, and they are very, very good. Like I said, they're freshly made right here at Jana's Marketplace. So we do have a couple of high school basketball players today, right?
Yep.
So let's get them up here. They can introduce themselves and tell us how great they are. So, go ahead, ladies.
I'm Caitlin Bothan, and I play basketball.
I'm Anna Tobin, and I also play basketball for the BA basketball team.
Okay, both of you are BA?
Yep.
All right. What positions do you play?
I'm a guard, so bring up the ball.
Okay.
I'm also a guard, but more I could be a post too.
Okay.
What grades are you girls in?
I'm a junior.
And I'm a sophomore.
Okay, well, great. Well, thanks for joining us today. So, what do you think of your season so far?
I think we've had a pretty good season. We graduated quite a few girls last year, so it was a lot about filling those gaps with leadership and on the court. And I feel like everybody has stepped into those positions well coming into the postseason.
Yeah.
Good deal. And you're both young. How many seniors do you have on the team this year?
We have one player and one manager, so just
Okay.
one that we're graduating.
So you'll be good and strong next year, coming back with a little bit of an experienced team.
Yep,
Right?
for sure.
So now, your coach is Ed Friesen, right?
Nope, Scott Trump.
Oh, Scott. Okay, yes, that's right. Yep, Ed's the
boys'
coach.
coach.
Yep. Okay. Tell us a little dirt on your coach. What do you know about him?
I mean, there's no dirt on him. He's a great coach. He's been here for as long as I can remember, ever since I started playing in the high school program. He's been here. He's built up the BA basketball program. I mean, they came from nothing, and now we're shooting for 500 every season, going further in postseason. So,
Yeah, you guys have become a very competitive team, haven't you?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're doing well. What is your record this year? Do you know?
No, I have.
It's
no
right
idea.
around 500, maybe a little, maybe a little above or
under,
something.
yeah.
But yeah, I know it's very close because you guys have been playing very well this year.
Yes, for sure.
So, what do you have coming up? You got a couple of regular season games left, right?
No, we had our last one last
Okay.
night versus Randolph, and then seedings for postseason will come out today,
Okay.
and then we'll play either next Tuesday or next Thursday.
Now Randolph is a real tough team, aren't they?
They were, yeah.
Yeah,
They were
yeah. How did the last night's game?
We went into overtime with them. And
Wow,
then we ended
great.
up losing in overtime, but it was a good competitive game. So
Well, that's a good tune-up for heading into the playoffs. You know, we're one of the best teams around, and you take them to overtime.
Yeah, no kidding, real kidding. What's your feelings on the seeding? How do you think where do you think you'll seed?
I feel like we'll see right in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
we have it's a very, very competitive section. I mean, we have some of the top 1A schools in our section.
Yeah.
And so I have a feeling we'll land somewhere right in the middle.
Now, based on seeding, do we have a shot at getting a home game?
We could.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that would help, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? It's always better to play in your home
Yeah.
court.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and they come out today, and so then we'll know where you are for the sections and moving forward. And then it's it's single elimination basically for sections, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about your individual seasons. What's going on in your individual seasons? How do you feel it's going?
So I started as a mainly JV player, but I've gotten more and more varsity time lately. So
Good.
my season, as I progressed, has gotten better. So
Because your play has gotten better. So that's a good compliment to you, isn't it? That kind of moved up from the JV and onto the varsity. What are the biggest differences?
varsity is it's more aggressive and more competitive. So you just have to learn how to play at a higher level.
Okay, now your teammate isn't here, so when they moved you from JV to varsity, did they accept you really well and
Yeah.
welcome you onto the team? Pretty good team, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean,
The teammates are wonderful.
yeah,
Very
it's a
accepting.
nice close team, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. But how about you? How's your season going?
Pretty good. This year I was nominated as a captain, so it's been a lot of stepping into that leadership role and being obviously losing all those seniors. You needed to give everybody someone to look up to, and so trying to step into that role. And then on the basketball aspect is getting more confidence. I mean, taking over those top 5 spots is huge.
I can see you being a very effective leader as captain. Yeah.
Do you girls play any other sports besides basketball?
Yeah, we both do volleyball and fast pitch. Yeah.
Oh, really? Both? Okay. Wow.
Nice. All right.
Have you thought at all about the softball season coming up?
A little bit. I mean, we need the snow to melt, but
Yeah.
yeah, it should be a good season.
Until a couple days ago, we didn't even have snow, so
Yeah.
things were looking
Right.
good. And
Yeah.
I think some teams even got outside and did a little practicing.
Little
and stuff.
captain's practices were held outside.
Yeah. So once we get through the basketball season, you will basically slide right into the softball season.
Yep.
And you'll promise me that you'll come back and tell us about your softball season, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, for sure.
What do you ladies play in softball?
I was a third baseman last year.
Okay.
And I was a left fielder last year.
Okay. So third baseman, you must have cat-like reflexes.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And a good arm because you got to throw
Yeah.
from third. So.
Yeah.
Okay. And left field, can you throw it in from the warning track and get it to the catcher?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not that far. But
Okay.
Yeah.
It's close.
Close. All right. She's
Well,
gonna
you
get it.
couldn't do that, so why are you picking on her about it? I mean,
Well, because she's an athlete.
yeah.
And I'm not, so But all right. How's the school year going? What's happening in the old school year?
School, homework.
Just cruising along?
Making it through.
All
One
right.
day at a time.
One day at a time.
These
okay.
kids got it a lot easier than we do. But
Yeah, we had to walk uphill in snow both ways.
Both carrying books.
Yeah.
Now they don't even get books anymore. It's just
I
on a computer.
I carried my books in a plastic bread bag.
Yes.
I always had to put them in a bread bag in case they got wet. I did.
Keep the rain off them.
Yeah. We've kind of advanced quite a ways from a bread bag, haven't we?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, ladies, I thank you very, very much for coming in. Anything you want to say as a follow-up here to kick off your playoff season now?
When would the first playoff game be? Is that on Tuesday? Or is
First
it-
possible is Tuesday,
Tues-
but that's also a play-in game, so we can
Okay.
end up with Thursday.
All right. We'll be looking forward to that.
You won't have a play-in game, will you? We'll just go straight
yeah.
into the. We'll go straight into the playoffs.
Thursday, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And if you get a home game, hopefully we'll get a nice big crowd there
For sure.
to cheer you on and get you to victory. Now, being a middle seed, hopefully they'd get another middle seed to play is what I'm hoping.
Probably should.
That would be nice. So
That 4 or 5 matchup. And,
Yeah.
that range. So.
Yep. So that'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
you just took Randolph, who's one of the top teams, in overtime. So hopefully that's a little confidence builder.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. We appreciate you coming in and come back, give us a wrap up on the basketball season, and then come back during the softball season and let us know how it's going.
For sure. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you
luck,
very
girls.
much.
Thank you.
All right. So, Tom, I read some news today that probably saddened you. Zach Parisi is retiring at the end of the season.
At the end of the season, I always enjoyed Zach's play. He's a hard-working guy on the ice. He gives 100% every shift, every game.
Yep.
And Minnesota guy,
Yeah.
know-
He played here at Shattuck.
grew up watching him here.
Played-
The only thing is he went to North Dakota.
Yeah, that
kinda
I know. I
pains
know.
us Gopher fans, but
Yeah.
he We enjoyed him.
Yep. No, he played here at Shattuck, then went to North Dakota, then got drafted, and he's playing out his final season with the Colorado Avalanche here, and just announced he's going to retire at the end of the year. So great guy, and
I'd like to see him win a cup, but that means he's going to have to do it with Colorado, and that's a little painful for me too. So.
yeah, that is true. But the Wild are hanging around 500, so their cup title hopes are probably pretty low this year. So I guess if we're going to cheer for somebody, let's cheer for Colorado, and hence cheer for Zach. So
and to recap a little bit from last weekend, you got lucky with your Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, well, I don't know about luck. I don't think luck is. I don't think luck had anything to do with it there. I think.
Yes, right here in the bullpen, we got a guest waiting that's got a 49ers shirt on.
Yeah, well, you can wear a loser shirt. I don't care. A couple other things a little more local here is we did have 2 Bethlehem Academy football stars sign letters of intent to play college ball.
Yes, we did.
That was awesome. Hudson Dillon and Elliott Veland. Hudson Dillon is going to be playing for the mighty Mankato Mavericks, near and dear to my heart because that's where I graduated from. And Elliott Veland is going to be playing for Southwest State Mustangs in Marshall, Minnesota. So they're both Maverick and a Mustang. So
that's correct.
Good job, Hudson and Veland there. That's really cool. I love it when they have this time of year and they put the local athletes in as signing their letters of intent and everything. So that is outstanding.
That hard work pays off.
Absolutely. Remember that, kids. Hard work pays off. And then we did have just a little bit of wrestling news. It's there's no good news here for wrestling. They had their team sections Thursday night down in Albert Lee, I believe it was. And it didn't really go so well. It just didn't pan out very well. They were playing, I think they were wrestling down in Albert Lee, if I remember correctly. And the teams down there, Albert Lee, Rochester Mayo, Faribault, Owatonna, Rochester Century, Northfield, and John Marshall. So they had a couple of, they basically had 2 triangulars. Albert Lee was a top seed, so they got a bye. And Owatonna defeated Rochester Century 51-9, which was a real heavy defeat there. Unfortunately, our mighty Falcons, they went down to Rochester Mayo and lost 40-33. So not the greatest end of the season, not what they were looking for, but that's the way it went. So definitely sorry about that on the Falcons wrestling team, but their team season is done. However, coming up, they have individual sections, and the individual sections are 1 week from today on February 24th. At the Mayo Civic Center. So if you're a wrestling fan and in the area, go over there and watch our individual section wrestlers. Hopefully we'll have let's make a prediction. 4 of them go to state.
That would be good.
I'll say
really
4.
Good.
I'll say 4.
Yeah, that's you're a fan of the wrestling. You have been for years.
Yeah, wrestling and tennis. I'm a fan
Did your boys wrestle?
Ren did.
They did.
Ren was a varsity wrestler in 7th grade.
Really?
All the way through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was a wrestler for the entire time that he could be a varsity wrestler. So, yeah, he really enjoyed that. So should we bring in the
absolutely
the fan of the San Francisco 49ers, the
He's
losers
my
of the
guy,
Super Bowl?
I tell you what, I like him already.
Yeah, well, we got to bring him in here. It's Mike Jarvis, and what we're going to discuss with Mike, in addition to his second favorite team, the San Francisco 49ers, losing in the Super Bowl too. Oh, and Mike just broke a chair. Way to go!
But didn't get hurt.
But but he didn't get hurt. He didn't hurt himself, which he's prone to do. But yes, the Kansas City Chiefs, my pick. One of the best Super Bowls ever, though, wasn't it, guys? One of the best ever.
No.
Competitive game? Seriously?
It was a really good game.
It has to go down as one of the best Super Bowls ever when any team wins with 2 seconds left in overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be.
It was good.
It was good. It is good. And in my case, the right team won. In Mike's case, the wrong team won.
Did you recognize anybody in the halftime show?
No. I
Me
didn't.
neither.
I didn't
So
recognize.
me-
I recognized one song. Does that count?
No.
Now, you gotta. I realize. Luckily, we're on the radio because both Tom and I have faces for radio, but we are both, well, all three, including Mike now, very gray hair here, folks. So when we say we didn't recognize anybody at halftime, and I recognize one song at halftime, I listen to music all the time, but just not that type of music. So I didn't recognize anything. So, Mike, welcome.
Thank you.
How do you think the Super Bowl went?
I was, like I said, rooting for the 49ers, second favorite team. Of course, I'd love to see the Vikings there,
Yeah.
the favorite team. But yes, it was a good Super Bowl, but not in favor of the outcome. But do I think there's going to be a dynasty? No.
Oh, there already is a dynasty. 3 and 5 years, they are already declaring Kansas City a dynasty.
There won't be a three-peat.
Well, maybe not, but the pundits have already. Well, and the good announcers have already declared Kansas City. They said going in, if they win this one, it'll be 3 out of 5 years dynasty.
Yeah.
So they'll get that little slice of time. But I'm with you, Mike. I don't think they'll three-peat. It's too hard.
The first half was kind of boring.
Oh, incredibly boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to wake each other up.
I, on the other hand, like a good competitive defensive game where defense matters in the NFL. They've changed the rules so much that it's all about offense, and I like when defense plays a part in the outcome. I thought it was good.
Well, Kansas City did have a better defensive team this year.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that really helped them in that game.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, now we'll get off the national stuff and we'll get to the local stuff. And what we brought Mike in here for is Mike is one of the main people that puts on Spike Fest. And what is Spike Fest, you may ask? We do talk about it once every year around the same time. But Spike Fest is a local volleyball tournament put on out at the Armory. And it brings in some of the best competition from a pretty big radius. I mean, they even say this competition is better than the state tournament. Now, the reason we're talking about it, it's an adult tournament, but what Spike Fest does is it raises money for the Tommy Allen Scholarship Fund. The Tommy Allen Scholarship Fund provides scholarships for local athletics in the high school and junior high system. So, in other words, if a family can't afford a son to play football or a daughter to be in gymnastics or something, they can apply and get a scholarship from the Tommy Allen Fund. Is that pretty accurate, Mike?
That would be correct.
And you and Chris Willock have been doing this for years and years. How many years is it, do you know?
This will be our 13th annual, but we missed a COVID year and we missed another year because of a storm, but we've done 13 years altogether.
Okay. And in those 13 years, you guys have, I know you've raised somewhere north of $40,000
Yes.
for the Tommy Allen Fund. We don't know the exact number, and maybe I'll try to find that out with talking to Paul Pinansky, but that's outstanding when you think of it. $40,000 in allowing kids to participate in local athletics.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really good seeing that more youth are coming out and playing those sports, that we can get the numbers back up, not just for volleyball, but for softball and basketball, and because those numbers have been declining. So it's good to see those kids getting back out and playing in these sports.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, Faribault has a pretty high number of families in the school age that are at or below the poverty line. So this is really a great. It's not even a program. It's a great benefit to our community to have these scholarships available, so that we can play football, we can play basketball, we can play hockey, or I think it applies to hockey too, but all the school sports for sure. So it is definitely a great thing. What kind of radius do you bring in teams from?
Oh boy, we've had teams from northern Iowa, South Dakota. We've had teams come from as far as Bemidji, Brainerd, St. Cloud, Paynesville.
Wisconsin?
Nobody from Wisconsin.
We don't want them anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
We may have had a few players from there, but we've never had a team from there. But
Okay.
We get Rochester, Mankato, Owatonna, Faribault. But we do get a lot of out-of-town teams.
And they're good teams, right?
Very good teams.
So number one, when is it?
We're doing women's on March 9th, And then on Sunday, March 10th, we're doing a co-ed tournament.
Okay, so women's on March 9th, co-ed on March 10th, and a lot of the players come and in the case of guys, they'll play both. No, I'm sorry. In case of the women, they'll play both days.
Yep.
They'll come, they'll play with the women's team on Saturday, and then they stay overnight and kind of have some fun, kick up their heels a little bit, and then they come back and play co-ed on Sunday.
Yep.
Am I wrong in saying it's some of the best competition that you can see in amateur volleyball?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Not only do I help run this, I usually play in this tournament, and we usually bring a pretty strong team into it. And last couple of years, we just kind of haven't made it out of pool play. But, when we get towards the end, I usually help with down reffing for like championship matches. And, like last year, I made a comment to one of the teams that was in the lower. And I looked at her and I said, "You've played in this tournament before?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Does it seem like this lower championship was our upper championship 4 or 5 years ago?" It's just incredible the players that we have come out and play.
Yeah. And, you mentioned your team. You guys are a very competitive team, but let's be honest. The average age of your team is probably now starting with a 5.
And I'm not sure why you would bring that up, but
Well,
yes, that would be correct.
But my point is, on one hand, folks, their average age begins with a 5 in volleyball, which is a physical cardiovascular sport. And they're still out there. They're still out there, and they're still competitive. So kudos to you guys. I know I tease you about a lot because, when your age starts with a 5, you get injured a lot, and, the heart goes down a little bit and everything. But they are still competitive, and it is still fun to watch. And we're still bringing in younger teams from a big radius, and it's really competitive and fun to watch.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing that I'm very excited about this year, what the Minnesota High School Association did. Was sanctioning boys volleyball.
Yeah.
And I think, before that they had like 30-some teams in the state, but it wasn't a sanctioned sport at that time. But I could see schools picking up boys volleyball, and that's going to bring them out, and they're going to start playing. So we're going to hopefully see an increase on the number of teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, as it goes, and boys volleyball, high school volleyball builds, and hopefully it will. I mean, it's always good to have another sport. The only thing I'm worried about is, we only have so many athletes, and, I hope it doesn't delete the overall pool. I hope it builds the overall pool of athletes. So that's the thing you got to... Tom, you ever play volleyball? You got the height.
I used to play a little volleyball as a younger man when my birthday didn't start with a 5.
Yeah, when your age didn't start with a 5, yeah. But you got the height for volleyball.
But back to the boys volleyball, I think it gives those athletes an option to play their sport. And I always questioned why it took the high school league so long
exactly.
to sanction it. And I wish the high school league would look at it as they could allow co-ops of regional teams. It doesn't necessarily need to be just Faribault. It could be a Rice County team.
Yeah, Yeah, I see a lot of co-ops in this to get started.
Because you are correct. There's only so many athletes, and they can only have so many time to play other sports, football, lacrosse. It's getting to be just much more opportunities, but they can make it work if they allow flexibility in the rules.
Exactly. Yep. And so we hope that boys volleyball does take off and become as popular as girls volleyball, because that's a very popular high school sport.
So now that you asked Tom about his volleyball skills, how about you? Have you stepped out on the court?
No. I avoid the court. My sport was bowling. My wife's sport was volleyball, and the two shall never intermix. I think she tried bowling once, and I tried playing volleyball once, and our marriage is great.
Yes.
Let's just say that. Our marriage is great. We have our own thing going, and we continue that into our old age. And my wife still plays volleyball 3 nights a week.
And I'm proud to hear your grandson, I think, is going to be a hockey player.
He is.
Yes. I have a 4-year-old grandson, and he is already addicted to hockey.
Good.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I don't know much about hockey. I'm going to have to learn, aren't I?
Yes,
All
you
I
are.
know about hockey is it's cold in there.
No, it's not.
But yes, we'll be learning about hockey too, so that's all right. But he'll also be a wrestler and a bowler, though, I bet, too.
Good.
So,
Good.
he'll be a rounded athlete.
Let's back to Spike Fest for a second. Is there a good opportunity for spectators to come in and watch, or are they?
That's a good question. We always get asked that all the time. Yes, people can come in and watch. There's no charge for the public to come in and watch. I encourage people to watch. If you enjoy volleyball and watching good volleyball, come on out. Probably on Saturday, we'll probably start right around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And on Sunday, if we have enough teams, we always have enough teams on Sunday for co-ed that we have to use both the Armory and the community center. But we do have chairs set up for people to come in and watch.
How many courts do they get set up at the Armory?
We have 3 up at the Armory, and then we use the 2 at the community center.
Good. Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, a lot of good volleyball on that weekend to watch. And just to be careful, or just to be sure you have a seat, bring your own folding chair.
Oh, yeah.
Bring your own lawn chair out. And besides that, it's going to be more comfortable than the steel folding chairs that they have out at the Armory.
Yep.
But yes, you're definitely encouraged to come on out and enjoy watching competitive volleyball March 9th and 10th.
March 9th and 10th,
Yep. Spike Fest right here in Faribault, Minnesota at the Faribault Armory. So, well, Mike, I can't thank you and Chris enough for running this tournament every year and building up the funds for Tommy Allen. It's a great scholarship program. And this is just one of the ways that money gets contributed to the Tommy Allen Scholarship Fund. So they always take donations and everything.
Yep.
But as far as I know, you guys have the only organized and continuously running annual tournament that supports the fund. I could be wrong on that.
Actually, this weekend there's a big tournament down in Mankato. It's called Mencora, and that draws many more teams. And they actually will expand out into other communities. So they'll go to St. Peter and they'll go surrounding towns so that people can play there, and then they finish it all up on Sunday. But we do have some of the teams that are down in Mencora come up here and play in our tournament.
But Mencora doesn't donate any money to our Tommy Allen Fund, do they? So you guys are more important and better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's local.
And if I can do, I like to do a big thank you to Chris, but to Dave Prebno for coming to us many years ago and asking us to do this.
Did he kind of kick it off?
He was the one who came to Chris and I, suggested it. Chris and I playing volleyball together, and he said, hey, we need to do a tournament. And he suggested Tommy Allen. We did it, and it just keeps getting bigger and stronger. And I got to also thank all the volunteers that come out and help us set up, and the referees that come out and ref for us during the weekend. It gets to be a long weekend, but got to give a big shout out to those guys.
Yeah, and the Chris that he's talking about is Chris Willock, local wood carver extraordinaire, and basically just an all-around good guy. Mm-hmm. But he definitely puts a lot of time. Both of you put a lot of time and effort into it, and scheduling it and organizing it. So it's a good deal. Go ahead.
It's also good to see events like this that draw people to our community. That
Exactly.
bring people from outside that are staying in hotels and spending money here in Faribault.
Yep. All right. Well, Mike, I thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you guys.
This morning. This is live, by the way. And that pretty much proves it because we screw up a lot. But once again, I'm Royal Ross with G&H Properties, located in beautiful downtown Faribault. Full-service real estate company, sales division, rental apartment management division for investors, and then association management, managing townhome and condo associations. So if you need anything in the full-service real estate area, give us a call, 507-334-3499. And that will do it for this week's show. Thank you.
This is